guys, what is going on? And welcome back to my Halloween Horror Reviews 2021. And I cannot believe we're literally just 3 days away from the end of this month's reviews. This month, I originally had planned on doing 13 reviews, 12 movie reviews, and 1 TV review. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, I had to cut out the TV review. And actually, this past Saturday, I was going to review 1926's Foster with my buddy Mr. Garrison, but unfortunately, once again, due to time constraints, I was unable to not only watch the film, but I was able to get the review in time ready for you all. I didn't want to leave you guys with less reviews, so I still wanted to at least give you your 12 movie reviews this month. And I was thinking, what could I review for you all this month that's horror? And whether it was recent or new, what was horror like? And I just remembered, oh yeah, that's right. As of recently, I did see a great, and I mean a great horror film that I think that, you know what, if not able to do fast, I'm going to replace with this movie. So with that being said, moving on with today's review, I'm going to be talking about Last Night in Soho, directed by Edgar Wright. In Last Night in Soho, we follow Eloise, played by Thomasin McKenzie, who has these dreams and aspirations of becoming a fashion designer in London. When she finds out that she has been accepted into this great fashion designing school, she gets very excited knowing that she is able to finally follow her dreams. She goes to this school, and it seems that she isn't really fitting along so well with her fellow classmates. She sees a ad for an apartment, and she is given a couple of rules, which I will not say because I don't want to give away too much in terms of the plot. And basically, Eloise has this particular thing about her that when she goes to bed, basically she goes back to the 1960s, into which she sees the life of a girl named Sandy, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, who has aspirations of becoming a singer. However, as time goes along, she sees that Sandy's life in the late 1960s isn't as glamorous as what it seems to be. Alrighty guys, so let's get into Last Night in Soho.
Damien!
I couldn't tell you guys how excited I was for this movie. I mean, Edgar Wright is one of my favorite directors of all time. When I found out that Edgar Wright was making a new film, in particular a psychological thriller, I mean, of course I got excited about that. I consider this movie to be Edgar Wright's first time making a straight-up horror film. Shaun of the Dead has horror elements, but I look at that movie more as a zombie rom-com than a straight-up horror film, even though there are some scary elements in that. And when it comes to Hot Fuzz, I think that Edgar Wright was tipping his toes into the thriller territory, but in my eyes, I do think that Last Night in Soho is Edgar Wright's first time really diving in to horror, specifically with psychological thriller, which, as you all know, psychological thrillers I absolutely love. I just want to ask Edgar Wright something out there. Is there a genre that you can't do? Last Night in Soho is a wild and insane ride, and I gotta tell you all, I loved Last Night in Soho. This movie rules. Every performance in this movie is great, but there are 3 in this movie that stand out so well. First of which is Thomasin McKenzie, then Anya Taylor-Joy, who I have a massive crush on. And also Matt Smith is great. Starting off with Matt Smith. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have not seen Doctor Who, so I can't really give my complete thoughts on Matt Smith as an actor because I haven't seen much of him. Let me tell you guys right now, after seeing this movie, I want to see him in so much more. Matt Smith does a great job of playing this very charismatic, how do I say this without spoiling? He does a great job of playing this very smooth, talking, charismatic guy that is able to essentially woo women. But as the movie goes along, you see more into his character, and that is all I can really say without spoiling anything, because let me just say, the way, the directions that this movie takes this character in, I absolutely loved. This movie has 2 knockout performances from 2 great actresses, one of them being Anya Taylor-Joy and the other one being Thomasin McKenzie. These 2 have done great work already. I mean, Thomasin McKenzie, I've not seen Leave No Trace, which I've heard great things, but she's also great in Jojo Rabbit. I love how she plays this character, not really a fish out of water character, but she does such a great job of playing this character that doesn't really quite fit in with what's going on in, let's say, the present time. She plays this girl that you really feel for her. She has this relatability to her that, honest to God, I couldn't get enough of her, and I love Thomasin McKenzie. There's a particular part of this movie that involves Thomasin McKenzie that honestly blew me away. Something that I loved about these two characters is how much they contrasted from one another. Both these characters have their aspirations. One is just very introverted about it, the other one is very extroverted about it. I absolutely love the way that Anya Taylor-Joy carries herself. I love her confidence. I love her screen presence. There are certain choices that she makes in this movie, and holy crap, she is amazing. One thing in particular that I absolutely loved about Last Night in Soho was not only the film's story, but adding on top of that, Edgar Wright's directing. In my eyes, some of the best horror films out there are films that don't necessarily start off as horror films. In my eyes, some of the best horror films out there start off as dramas. But how that said drama slowly progresses into a psychological thriller territory, in my eyes, these are some of the best horror films out there. And I love the way that Edgar Wright takes this movie from what seems to be a drama about a girl that has these aspirations about being a fashion designer, and when she goes to the school at first, she sees that she doesn't quite fit in with her classmates. But as this film slowly creeps along, you see Edgar Wright essentially flirting with the idea before he goes fully into this thing. Edgar Wright directs Last Night in Soho as essentially like a fever dream. Last Night in Soho is a gorgeous looking movie, and I love the way in this movie how Edgar Wright and his DP Chung Chun Cho, I know I probably just butchered the fuck out of his name, great DP by the way. I love the way that Edgar Wright and his DP separate the looks of the two time periods. The more modern look, it has a much more clean look, that's much more crisp, and then when you go back into the late 1960s, it has a very colorful vibe to it. It's as if the colors are honestly exploding out of the screen. How Edgar Wright moves the camera. There are some sequences in this movie in which there is a, speaking of sequences, there's a particular sequence in this film in which how he moves the camera and how the lighting plays a factor into it. It looked that good. I love the soundtrack of this movie. I've been listening to the soundtrack ever since. Anya Taylor-Joy's cover of Downtown is great, but the original version is fucking fantastic. Hearing the Kinks as well. Oh god, Edgar Wright, you've got me there going. I love the Kinks so much. This movie is fucking freaky, man. I mean, this is a freaky as hell movie. Now, nothing particularly scared me shitless. There are some things that Edgar Wright does do with the characters of Thomas and Mackenzie and Anya Taylor-Joy's characters. The way that Edgar Wright implements the psychological thriller genre with this character journey, I thought was absolutely brilliant. There are 3 sequences that legitimately did frighten me to the T. One in particular that I just went, it's frightening more than anything else, but are there some scary moments? Abso-freaking-lutely. By the end, I just went, he's done it again.
Happy purge, you old fuck!
There's 2 characters in this movie that I do feel like are a bit underdeveloped. Otherwise, that's it. So overall, Last Night in Soho is a wild and an insane ride, and I absolutely loved this film. Edgar Wright has done it once again, and I once again ask the question, is there a genre that this man cannot do? Because Edgar Wright is a damn master. I absolutely loved Last Night in Soho. This is easily one of my favorite films of the year, and I am absolutely going to give Last Night in Soho a 5 out of 5 stars. If you're not going to stay home and watch movies this Halloween, if you want to go to the movie theater to see a Halloween movie, this is easily the best movie to go see on Halloween weekend. Go see it, guys, and go see it in Dolby, and just get ready for one insane ride. So comment down below and let me know, have you guys seen Last Night in Soho? What'd you all think? Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. I'm also on Snapchat, so if y'all want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links in the usernames are in the description below. I hope you all enjoyed my review of Last Night in Soho. If so, please hit that like button, also subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell for every latest video of mine goes live. If you guys want to see my previous 2 reviews, please click on right there or right there. And of course, until my next review of my Halloween Horror Reviews 2021 or my next review in general, I'll see you all next time.